The Juggernaut, also known as the Turbo Tank, was one of the most effective land-based vehicles the Republic had during the Clone Wars. But why were these tanks so formidable? The tank was engineered by Kuwait Drive Yards for the Republic, and it was primarily used as a troop transport and cavalry regiment, as a stark alternative to the more commonly used ATTE Walker. Measuring around 50 meters in length, it required 12 crewmen to operate its weapon systems, but it could hold up to 300 passengers, in the largest A6 model. As opposed to the other more common forms of tank in the Star Wars universe, such as repulsor lift technology or walkers, this tank featured 10 huge wheels. This combined with a large suspension allowed it to easily pass over most forms of terrain. Snow, marsh, ash, there was few things that the turbo tank wasn't able to pass over. Its 10 wheels also gave it considerable speed of about 160 km per hour or about 100 miles per hour. Unlike normal tanks, which were considerably slow and cumbersome. These tanks were heavily armoured, being able to survive a direct hit with most high-yield ordnance. As well as this, they were very well equipped with a variety of weapons, including anti-personnel laser cannons, heavy laser turrets, projectile launchers, as well as repeating lasers. Now, these vehicles did really lack a primary cannon like the AAT or ATTE had. This is likely because these tanks were most useful when moving as opposed to being stationary. It's for this reason they focused on offensive weapons designed to combat softer targets such as infantry or smaller personnel carriers and small ships. These vehicles were utilised in both the Battle of Felucia as well as Kashyyyk, and they were used primarily as a form of shock cavalry. Now, shock tactics are performed by rapidly closing down on an enemy in one dedicated strike, and it's a very offensive way to fight, and the turbo tank was perfect for this. It could speed towards an enemy position and troops faster than most other vehicles on the battlefield, laying down considerable amounts of fire, decimating large amounts of infantry before releasing up to 300 troops to a position. Now, a few of these tanks could very easily be able to establish a foothold in enemy territory and act as a temporary command post whilst the much slower moving bulk of the army catches up. Now, these tanks were incredibly formidable, however their largest issue was that they allegedly were susceptible to breakdowns after sustained use. As well as this, wheel-based vehicles do have significant downsides, such as an inability to cross over large bodies of water or particularly vertical terrain. These may have been the reasons why the Empire phased out nearly all its wheel-based tanks after it took power, favouring walkers instead. The turbo tank's successor, the A9 turbo tank, was primarily used to transport prisoners as opposed to being stationed on a battlefield. This is likely due to how it could transport large numbers of people and could easily be used to quell a riot. But what do you think of the Juggernaut tank? Good idea, or should have been phased out long ago? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to tick the bell to ensure you get regular updates when I publish a new video. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter @TheLoreGuy for other updates. Thanks again for watching, I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.